Judas. Hello, welcome to the Church of Judas. Hello, welcome to the Church of Judas. So, the Church of Judas replaces all Trumpism, patriarchy, Christianity, and war with the pro-sex love religion Jesus wants. So, hello, and welcome to the Church of Judas. I'll repeat just in case YouTube cuts off the first 20 seconds like it sometimes does. Church of Judas replaces all patriarchy, Christianity, Trumpism, and war with the pro-sex love religion that Jesus wants. So, welcome to the Church of Judas, where we replace all the Christian churches. Church of Judas replaces all Trumpism, patriarchy, Christianity, and war with the pro-sex love religion Jesus wants. So, thanks for being here, and I'll read you a selection of my book, picking at random, The Book of Judas by Andrew Harris. And it goes like this, page 151. But Jesus laughed when he heard this. He said to him, "Why are you all worked up, you 13th demon? But speak up, and I'll bear with you." This was a pretty interesting thing for Jesus to call Judas the 13th demon. 13th demon implying the 12 other demons before him. Anyway, but he laughed. It's a joke. And it makes me think that something I haven't really thought much about when reporting on the book of Judas or the Gospel of Judas and the Church of Judas, that Judas may have misunderstood some things. Judas may have gotten some things wrong in the way he wrote things down, just like the other disciples did. Some of the things that I didn't understand, I just left it at that. I just don't understand them. Well, this is how I responded to that quote, for instance. I don't remember how many times Jesus laughs in the Bible. Maybe none? It's not like he has no sense of humor. He kind of jokes sometimes and is pleasant to children and loved by them, so he seems to have a good sense of humor. But he's already laughed 2 or 3 times in this gospel, all in the days leading up to Passover and his crucifixion. He seems in a really good mood. It may be rude to call Judas a 13th demon, except why is he 13th? Is he calling them this because he's the 13th of the group, therefore Jesus is calling himself and all the disciples demons too? Or is he saying Judas is the 13th because he will be replaced as a disciple, looking back from how things turn out? Because a lot of the stuff in the Gospel of Judas is about the future. Is Jesus telling Judas about the future, such as his truth will be hidden and he'll be hated for thousands of years, which became true. How would Jesus know that? Or is he saying Judas is the 13th because he was replaced as a disciple, looking back on how things turn out? Or is there some other reason he is called the 13th demon that has nothing to do with the disciples? It seems like a joke or a friendly chiding of all of them. Kind of like when Jesus said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan," except he may have actually been mad at that time. And this time, he seems to be joking. Now that he doesn't also consider Judas the disciples demons, at least in a way. And maybe demon isn't a bad word in this sense anyway. Maybe it just comes to mind because dream messages are considered a province of one's personal demon or angel. And Jesus spoke of angels and stars earlier in the gospel. It seems like whether you call them demons or angels, they could have good or bad influences on you either way. There's an old word daemon or daimon that is often translated as demon, but really means guiding spirit in the same way we mean angel. When I saw the notes on translation at the end of the version, I saw that daemon is actually the word Jesus used, and it's probably not the best translation to say demon, due to its negative connotation to people today. So he's saying all the disciples are guiding spirits and Jesus is the 13th. Or, if he is calling them all demons, he's referring to Judas's rule as a demon being 13th after the others, but he's laughing about it. And I'll read the next thing that Jesus says to Judas. But to talk about that, just to say, the full prophecy, or I can't claim to explain the full prophecy, but the fuller part of Jesus' prophecy to Judas is that he'll be hated for what he did for thousands of years, even though Jesus told him to do it. He'll be hated, but then when his truth is discovered, will be also the time that empires fall and wars end. And it makes perfect sense to me that Christianity's role in creating empires and wars is what will be called to account. That we haven't blamed Christianity for Hitler or Putin or Trump, even though Hitler and Putin and Trump are all products of Christianity. We haven't seen that Christianity can be really, really wrong to produce such people, and that Jesus was really never part of it. Jesus was looking on from the outside with a secret plan to replace it, to turn it into something good, but only to the extent that Judas replaces the pre-existing Christianity. Judas said to him, "In the vision I saw myself, the 12 disciples were stoning me and chasing me rapidly." This is Judas's vision to Jesus. "And I came to a place where I had followed you. I saw a house in this place, and my eyes couldn't measure its size. great people surrounded it, and that house had a roof of greenery. In the middle of the house was a crowd. Master, take me with these people. It'd be nice to have the full text in case Judas actually said something more specific than a house in this place. For example, I would, because some of those words were decided upon by the scholars who translated it when something was missing. For example, I would guess the general meaning is preserved. I love that the only real details about the house were that it was of vast size and the roof was greenery. I imagine this means that as vast as the roof of the house was. Sorry about that. I forgot my phone ran out of battery. But there was something about greenery, and I'll just go ahead and close this out since I don't know where I left off exactly. I guess I could look one more time for something, but 135, I think I said. The last thing Jesus says in this paragraph is that on the last day they will be found guilty. Just before he says, it has been said to the human generations, look, God has accepted your sacrifice from the hands of priests, that is, the minister of error. Why are the priests the minister of error? It's because all the Christianity was wrong up until this point. Jesus said to them, this is from the Gospel of Judas, Jesus said to them, stop sacrificing animals. You've offered them over the altar, over your stars with your angels, where they've already been completed. So let them become with you and become clear. But of course they were upset with him saying stop sacrificing animals. It didn't make it into any other gospel, even though he says to all of them, stop sacrificing animals. We've gotten used to not sacrificing animals in our time, at least in a ritual worship context. But of course it was a daily thing in Jesus' time. Remember how we chased the money changers and animals out of the temple? The animals were there so people could buy them to sacrifice them in the temple. They wouldn't have to bring their own animals if they traveled. Because the whole deal was sacrificing animals. And Jesus is telling them to stop. I don't know if that was the same page that was on before, but anyway. The whole point is that if Jesus was good, he couldn't be responsible for what Christianity became, and people like Trump and Putin, who Christianity has produced. Those aren't good people. Those aren't good outcomes. And if you associate them or connect them to Jesus, which we should through Christianity, at least we should connect them to Christianity, we should know that something is wrong there. And if Jesus is that wrong, then we should probably call him out and make sure that people know that Jesus is really bad, not good. But Jesus is actually good. Jesus actually saw this stuff coming in advance. He knew about it, and he had a plan for it. He had a plan to end it. And we can all take part in that plan. Just let anybody you know or ask anybody you know about Judas and the Gospel of Judas. And read some of it yourself or come back for more videos and more talks about it here. But I will be closing this out for now, and I'll finish with the blessing I came up with for the Judas Church, which is God bless you, Mary bless you, Jesus bless you, Judas bless you, I bless you, my cat blesses you, and bless yourself. Love you. See you soon. Hold on a second. Hey, Kitty. You want to show off the book? Here's the cat in the book. Anyway, thanks, YouTube. Thanks, future people, for watching this. See you soon. And thanks for ending patriarchy, Christianity, war, and Trumpism, and taking the easy way out, the plan that Jesus had for doing specifically that with Judas. Thanks. See you soon.